Hi, I'm Eldred from the Fender Custom Shop, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the guitars that we're doing for 2008 out of the shop. This being one of my favorites. This is a limited edition 52 Telecaster. I've been really kind of waiting for us to do this myself, and I'm glad we're doing it right now. It's a great guitar. It's a great sounding guitar. It's a great playing guitar, and it's made for the player to sit down and actually use. My Telecaster is very similar to this, my personal Telecaster, and it's nice to be able to pick up a guitar that plays like the one I've had for many, many years. There's a lot going on with this guitar, so I kind of want to jump in and just kind of talk about some of the features. The first thing that you notice on this guitar is the neck. The neck is a nice V-shaped 52 Tele neck, but it's not as big as a 51 Nocaster. It's a little bit more V'd out, but it's a real soft V. So it's a real comfortable instrument to play. All the finish has been taken off the back, so it feels like it's worn in and broken in. It has 6105 fret wire on it. It has a 9.5-inch radius on the fingerboard, so you can overbend and not worry about it fretting out. The 52 Tele was a really significant year for Fender, and the look of the guitar is kind of cool. What we've done is we've gone through and modified some of the stuff like I just talked about on the neck, but also in the wiring. Years ago in the custom shop, we sat down with the builders, and I asked them to make a front pickup that didn't sound as dark and murky as a regular Tele pickup. A regular Tele pickup, to me, sounds very dark and weak, and to me it's not a real usable, especially for today's music, and not a real usable sound. The pickups together sound great, but when you use that front pickup alone, it's kind of lackluster there. So I asked the guys to come up with some designs, and then let's pick something that we all agreed on. So everybody went together, and they put about 4 different designs together. We sat in a room, we put the pickups in guitars that nobody knew whose was in what guitar, and we sat around and played the guitars for a little bit, and we actually came up with this pickup was the best sounding one that we liked. And what it ended up being was a taller bobbin, and it has a nickel silver cover instead of a brass cover on it. A traditional Tele pickup will have a brass cover that's chrome plated, and it also adds to the darkness of the pickup. So we put a nickel silver cover. Nickel silver is very bell-like sounding. It's much more transparent to the magnetic field. So with the tall bobbin and the nickel silver cover, you start getting a real Strat sounding pickup. Front pickup. Really much more usable front pickup sound. I like this pickup a lot. I put this in my other Tele, my personal Tele. And then the back pickup is another pickup that we did a long time ago in the custom shop. And it was based on a broadcaster, which was the original Telecaster that they got told by Gretsch to use a cease and desist using that name. And so they ended up cutting this Telecaster off, and it just said Fender, and that's what the Nocaster is. That's what collectors call them. But the Nocasters, or the broadcasters, the very first pickup designs really came off of a lap steel that Fender was making at the time. And it's a flat pole piece pickup, if you can catch that in the camera there. The pole pieces are flat against the top instead of being staggered. A lot of the Tele pickups will have a staggered pole piece on the G and the D, and that gives you a nice even sound. But with the broadcasters, what they did, and with these lap steels, what they did is they put a flat pole piece on there, and they kind of overwound it. So it's a very hot sounding pickup. And we stopped doing it when we did the 51 Nocaster, and we brought it down a few turns to make it more vintage correct for a 51 Nocaster. But the very early ones were pretty hot, and the very early ones that we did in the shop were pretty hot. And we still get artists like Webb Wilder asking for those pickups all the time. So we're starting to use those pickups a little bit more now. We're putting them on certain guitars, this being one of them. And this is just a great sounding pickup when you'll hear it here in a second. Very mid-rangey, very powerful. It's a great chordal pickup. And when you use these two pickups together, it's a great tele sound. Anyways, it's a really cool sounding pickup when you're using them both together. You get a really neat tele pickup sound on all the different positions, whether you're playing in the high-end register or down low. You get all those sounds out of it. And then you also have the tone control that's in the back. So you can get the pedal steel effects and all that business. But it's just a great guitar. I'm really glad we're doing this now. And it's a limited edition for 2008. It's the 52 Tele Relic from the Fender Custom Shop. And I hope you guys all go out and buy 4 or 5 of these.